My name's Johanna Tolman, and I'm the marketing manager for math and stats at Wiley. And I just want to say thank you for joining us. I hope you're enjoying ECOT so far. And today we're going to explore Knewton Alta statistics. Knewton Alta is a fully integrated adaptive learning courseware. It has everything students need to succeed in their course, including text-based and video instruction, interactive learning content, assignments and review materials, and it's built on an adaptive learning platform so it can quickly identify and dynamically boost knowledge gaps while students are completing assignments. Alta strives to help students get it before moving on through their homework by providing targeted, just-in-time instruction relevant to them and generating a deeper learning versus memorization and mimicry. So let's visit Alta's core beliefs. First, we believe every student who has the courage to go to college deserves a chance to succeed, regardless of where they went to high school, what level of preparedness they're at, or what physical or learning limitations they may have. And above all else, we're driven by the pursuit of putting achievement within reach for everyone. There are no silver bullets, or technology is not a silver bullet. It's only through close partnership with professional faculty that Alta will make a difference. You as instructors are the most essential ingredient, and Wiley, we can provide resources and assessment to support what you do, but without you, this data is really meaningless. So third, we believe that course material costs in higher education are quite simply irresponsibly out of control, and that incremental price changes are not good enough and dramatic change is needed. We think course materials should be affordable for everyone, and prices should be simple, consistent, and transparent. That's why we've established one low price that's consistent across every product with no hidden price increases and no tactics designed to trick students into buying anything. And lastly, we feel a deep calling to create a world-class experience for you and your students. So what does this mean? It means technology that actually works all of the time, real results for students, and best-in-class reliability. We have a full team here to support you. We have local teams, solutions architect, 24/7 support. There's plenty of other additional support as well. We strive to create an extraordinary user experience with an elegant, responsive design, anytime, anywhere, any device access, seamless LMS integration, and more. And then we are constantly improving content and the technology platform. So let's break Alta down. We leverage curated open educational resources optimized by subject matters, including instructional text, instructional video, and assessment content organized for each course by learning objective. Knewton Alta's best-in-class adaptive technology personalizes learning by adapting to students' proficiency levels with each interaction and providing the exact support that each individual student needs. Its clean, intuitive interface makes it easy to get started and stay focused for both instructors and students, and includes the flexibility of seamless LMS integration. It's accessible for all learners, and by leveraging that OER content in our courses, we're able to focus on affordability and making learning accessible to all students. So now we're going to go ahead and dive in and take a look at Knewton Alta. So we're going to start by walking through the student experience in Knewton Alta statistics. So when a student starts their assignment, they will see the goal topics that you have assigned, the due date, the work estimate. So you can see here it says estimated 4 to 10 questions, and your students will move through their assignments in the most efficient pathway based on their level of preparedness. Prepared students may be able to achieve 100% by completing 4 questions, and struggling students might need to complete 10 or more questions to achieve 100% because they may need additional instruction or need to work on a foundational skill. But the benefit of the mastery-based system is that all students have the opportunity to achieve 100% mastery if they keep working on the problems and become efficient in the goal topics. So for the sake of this demo, I'm going to be a struggling student so that you can see the instruction and the remediation that students could receive. So before I start the assignment, I also want to point out that before I even start, I have the option to go ahead and review instruction before jumping into the assignment. So if I feel like I need to refresh my memory on something, I'm able to do that. And also as the instructor, you're able to force instruction first for your students, but they had the option to go ahead and skip it, but you do have the option as the instructor to force instruction prior to the assignment. So you can click down here and that's where the student can review. All right, so the student workspace begins with assessment questions to determine a baseline of what the student knows and does not know on the assigned concepts. The majority of our questions will be free response or Desmos graphing questions with some multiple choice questions mixed in as well. So the first question is going to be a Desmos free response. Students can enter their answer on their keyboard, or we also have this really cool, easy to use answer palette. It also will tell you the symbols up here. And we do allow students to have 2 tries on open-ended questions because we know sometimes there's like typos or they accidentally hit something. So we do give them the option to enter in an answer twice. So you're seeing that I'm getting this question wrong and I'm going to try again, still wrong, but it's giving me some feedback here. And then if I scroll down below, you see that students will always see immediate and detailed feedback tailored to each question, whether or not I got it correct. So this just reinforces the concept, promotes growth mindset, builds confidence, and the detailed feedback provides the students with guided solutions to mimic what happens during a tutoring session. So this is the first line of defense to reinforce a concept. So we're going to go ahead and move on. And notice that we're using Desmos interactives, excuse me. Demos provides interactives and visuals to promote conceptual understanding. And students simply move the plots on the X, the sigma, the N, and the confidence level. So you can see that Alta continuously adapts to help students master the assignment's goal topics based on what they've done to date in the program. In Alta, students can mimic a procedure by clicking try another with new values like in other systems. And in Alta, we move students forward to the next question or instructional material. And we move students forward towards proficiency versus gaming the system, which leads to higher test scores. So I'm going to continue to just get these incorrect. So now I've gotten several questions incorrect on the target learning objective. So Alta is now serving up targeted instruction to reinforce understanding of the concept. If we identify that a student is struggling through items in a learning objective, we'll surface targeted instruction, either a related video or a short reading, seamlessly within the adaptive assignment. Students receive a related question after each reading and video so that we can see the data and collect it on those interactions. Collectively, Alta tracks all student responses to gain a better estimate student proficiency as a whole. That way it can provide each student with the most precise level of instruction needed to increase their learning outcomes. So here's that targeted instruction we just talked about. And we're going to move on. And now I'm getting a question based on that instruction. You'll notice that there's several options available with each assessment question, and students will have the opportunity to provide feedback on every question. You can see that down here. This goes directly to our content team, and if there's something we need to fix, we fix it. Alta is evergreen, so we don't have the same constraints as a traditional textbook, and we can easily make changes very quickly as needed. With instruction, students have 3 opportunities to view instruction, all mirroring how students typically use their textbook. So before they start the assignment, instructional content is specific to each goal topic. On each problem, you see here, students can click into more instruction and take agency at any time to get a short video or reading. And forced, as I previously demonstrated at the beginning of the assignment. We like to ensure that they're viewing the right content and they save them time as it's right here in their learning path. Nearly every goal topic in Alta has at least 1 reading and 1 video associated with it. All right, so I'm going to continue to answer incorrectly. While I do this, I'll just talk about traditional homework systems. Students receive the same learning objectives and types of questions to complete, regardless of their capabilities and preparedness. Once they get a question right 1 time, they receive a check mark and move on to the next question. In Alta, students receive a personalized experience based on their level of preparedness and proficiency, and attain mastery through different contexts and difficulty level of problems. So I'm continuing to answer incorrectly. And as you've seen, I am missing several questions on the targeted objective. So now we land here. I'm receiving remediation on this goal topic, point estimates, margins of error, and confidence intervals. And we've actually mapped topics based on our knowledge graph to identify how topics are related, so we can accurately provide 1 to 3 steps of remediation precisely when the student needs help. So now let's take a look at the refresher material, and what it looks like to move forward to mastery of the targeted learning objective. So Alta provides readings and videos for the foundational skills, as well as the goal topics, so that students receive the support they need when they fill in their knowledge gaps. So now I'm going to start answering these questions correctly. I have a little shortcut. You can see I'm getting that feedback, positive reinforcement. Still getting that answer explanation, even though I'm getting the answers correct. So now you can see I'm back on the goal topic, no longer in refresher mode. And Alta is really the only system on the market that starts students on the goal topics that you assign and provides just-in-time instruction and remediation within the flow of the adaptive assignment. So this creates for a seamless, efficient, and impactful experience for the students. So now I'm going to continue, and I've had my remediation, my refresher. So I'm getting some more questions correctly. Now, as I do that, I just want to point out my mastery bar is increasing. So I'm getting closer to that 100% mastery, even though it's taken me a little bit to get to this point. All right, so now you can see I've reached 100% mastery of my goal topic. So that confetti seems a little like a little design detail, but we've actually gotten really positive feedback that it kind of helps fuel motivation and build confidence. We also allow students to rate the assignment and provide feedback. And as the instructor, you get this information with data at checkpoints in the semester. So I'm going to just say awesome and hit continue. Now you can see I'm back to the assignment page, and you see that there's still an option here to go ahead and practice. So students have the option to practice at any time throughout the semester to reinforce key topics, prepare for a higher stakes assessment, and it won't affect their grade score here. This activity tab provides students with a detailed history of all their interactions from their adaptive assignment that can be filtered to view correct questions, incorrect, where they received instruction, etc. And this allows students to review and study for high stakes assessments and focus on areas where they may have struggled. And instructors also have access to students' full detailed activity and their coursework and student dashboards. So let's go ahead now that I've completed my assignment. We're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the instructor side of Alta. And we're going to use this demo course. It's fake student data, so it's not real students. I'm able to share this information. And for the sake of the student data, we're using a college algebra section. So Wiley's approach to delivering data is that it should be actionable, easy to review, easy to navigate. So you can see here, these are the assignments in the section outline. And the dashboard provides an overview, class performance on assignments, quizzes, and tests. And you can see the average mastery. You can see how many students are struggling. There's additional things that we'll dive into. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this assignment, sets and Venn diagrams. So the assignment detail view provides insight into your class progress on assignments and learning objectives. So again, I can see average mastery on this assignment, the average number of questions that students answered, and the average time it took for each student to work on the assignment. I can also quickly monitor the student's progress on the assignment by clicking on each category. So I can click on who's completed, who's still working on it, who's struggling, and who hasn't started. This is just a good way to kind of gauge where your students are at. These filters also let us zero in on the struggling students, which is a big feature. We also give an option for you to email them right from the platform. Say you want to provide additional resources, ask them to stop by office hours, you can email them right from the platform and offer additional support. All right, now let's take a look at, we're going to take a look at Olga here. And right here, I can see this mastery bar. Okay, where did she struggle? She struggled with illustrate two sets using Venn diagram and set notation. So it really is allowing me to go ahead and I can click in her assignment and see, okay, she only got 4 correct. She got 4 incorrect. Altogether, she answered 8 questions. I can see how much time she spent on the assignment. And I can even filter the questions to show only a certain type, like I did up here. I can also click on a question and I can see what her answer was to maybe help explain her logic or be able to just dive deeper into what her thinking was. All right, now we're going to head back to the assignment page. Okay. And over here, I wanted to just point out that you can review the class's performance as a whole on an individual learning objective versus just one student. So I can see here 13 students got this learning objective, 6 of them are struggling or in progress, and then 1 is struggling with this learning objective. So I can see, all right, most likely I'm not going to have to worry about this one because there's more green than red or yellow. It's also helpful to, in grouping students based on level of readiness, so you can help determine which topics the class is struggling with, and therefore you might need to spend extra time on. So going back to the section page, we're going to look at the Chapter 1 test. So here's our predictive analytics dashboard that provides the ability to identify student readiness for a test and identifies at-risk students before the exam. It also helps instructors identify blocker learning objectives at both the individual and class level. And finally, it provides a clear connection between the homework students are completing and their exams. The student tab here provides a visual breakdown of the students who are ready for their exams based on their adaptive assignment performance. And readiness is calculated using what objectives are covered in the test and quiz, all previous history of the student and their adaptive assignments, how recently the student completed that work, and the difficulty of the adaptive questions completed versus the difficulty of the assessment's learning objectives. So if I click on the red part of this donut here, I can see which students are at risk to fail this exam. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Olga again here, not to pick on Olga, but you can see these are the learning objectives that are going to be on the exam. And I'm able to actually see where I think she'll succeed in these learning objectives and where I think she might be struggling. So this definitely helps with student readiness for each learning objective. And I can quickly identify trouble areas if she's coming to my office hours. Great, we're gonna go back to chapter 1, and over here, we're moving from the individual student tab into a holistic view of whether a class as a whole is ready for the exam. So again, we see a list of the learning objectives that are included in the test, and you can hover over the bar here to identify levels of measurement data to view the number of students identified as excelling, on track, at risk, or unavailable. Perhaps they haven't started their homework yet. But overall, this data helps your students efficiently identify their learning gaps and help you easily identify your at-risk students and most difficult learning objectives for the class as a whole. And that is Knewton Alta. And I apologize, I had a tickle in my throat, and so I did turn my camera off, but I'm here still. So I don't know if we can open it up to questions or what the situation is. Let me see the chat.
So either way, you can offer your questions in the chat, or there is a question and answer mechanism, which no one took advantage of while we were talking, probably because I didn't remind them it was there. But
No problem.
I don't think we've had any questions yet, but if you're okay with it, turning on microphones would be fine if they can, yeah. Which I'm not sure. Okay, we got a, can you select topics?
You can, yes, so you can select the learning objectives that you would like to use. However, they are pre-built.
They're not, you can't edit them in any way?
No.
Okay.
We do offer, you can write your own test questions, but because the assignments are adaptive, those are all pre-built questions.
Thank you. Any other questions for Johanna? We saw a price on one of your early slides, and the question is the price per student?
The price is per student, so it's $39.95 for a semester. And then we also offer a $9.95 option per month, and that's kind of more for like those 8-week courses, maybe a summer session, stuff like that. And also I just want to point out that we allow the student to, we make sure the student passes. We don't want them to fail. And so if they fail using our product, they don't pay again if they have to retake a course.
Good to know. In the chat, we have a question about high school pricing. Is there a different price for high school students?
I actually don't think we offer Alta. Oh, well, no, we do. I actually don't know. I think it would be, I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out about that and I'll get back to you. That's a great question.
Okay. And are the assignments questions tailored to the OER book, or are they generic?
I also don't know that question and I will get back to you. I'm new to Wiley, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm writing your names down.
So there's an anonymous attendee here asking, can you repeat what mastery consists of per learning objective? Is it a fixed number of correct answers or ...
Nope, it's not fixed. It really just depends on the student. So if they start to answer questions correctly, their mastery will go forward. If they get questions wrong, it won't go backward. We only like to go forward with them. So it really just depends. But there is a range for each learning objective on the number of questions, but it's different for each one.
Okay. And how can we find the best way to find out more about Alta if we think of other questions later?
So I'll drop my name and my email in the chat and you can reach out to me. We also will be hosting a digital booth this week. So you're welcome to join us then as well.
Great. Another question in the Q&A is, are teachers using the system in addition to homework or alone?
Yes, so you can use it for quizzes and tests as well.
Well, maybe you answered that question, but makes me think, are they doing paper and pencil activities during class time or whatnot, so that this is in addition to that? Alta would be part of the class, and then there'd be other kinds of assignments.
So I think that's really up to the instructor, but we do also have PDF worksheets. We offer exercises and activities that you can use in your classroom alongside Alta on the online.
Do you have any idea about, number of sections, number of students, number of institutions, any kind of quantitative measure of?
I actually don't, but that is a really good question.
Yeah, just for the intro stats.
I don't know that, but I'll have to find out because that would be interesting to know.
Yeah. And I'll add on to that, what kinds of institutions?
Yep.
Is it only this kind, or is it many kinds?
Yeah, I would say it's 4 year and 2 year. So it's both. Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Were we scheduled till 5:30?
Yes.
Because we're at 5:30. So
awesome.
We did good. Receiving some thanks in the chat. I'll add my thanks as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for bearing with me with the tickle in my throat. It's allergy season, right?
Yeah, I think I'm past that now, so I'm good to go for the rest of summer. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks. Have a good night, everyone.